The moment I stepped into the reunion hall with my 3 little girls holding my hands, the air seemed to tighten around my chest, as if the past had been waiting years for this exact second to strike back. Laughter echoed off polished walls, crystal lights shimmered overhead, and faces I once knew glanced over me with curiosity that quickly shifted into judgment. I felt small, exposed, and painfully aware that I no longer belonged to the life I once dreamed of. I was no longer the promising man people remembered. I was just a single dad, standing alone with triplets in a room full of success stories. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and unexpected miracles, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. I had debated for weeks whether to come, but the reunion mattered to my daughters more than it did to me. They were excited to see the lights, the dresses, the decorations, and I could not bring myself to disappoint them. Their mother, my ex, had already arrived when we entered. She stood surrounded by admiration, perfectly dressed, her laughter loud and sharp, as if she had won at life and wanted everyone to know it. When her eyes landed on me, they narrowed slightly, and I felt the familiar sting of being measured and found lacking. She looked at the worn edges of my suit, at the careful way I stood close to the girls, and then smiled in a way that made the humiliation unmistakable. It was not loud or dramatic, but it was public enough to make my ears burn and my heart sink. Years earlier, I had lost everything in quick succession. My job vanished, my marriage collapsed under pressure, and suddenly I was left raising 3 infants on my own. Nights blurred into mornings, bills stacked up, and dreams quietly slipped away. I learned how to braid hair, pack lunches, and hide my fear behind tired smiles. I learned how to be strong when there was no one left to lean on. The reunion forced all of that back into the open, reminding me how far I had fallen from the version of myself I once was. The room felt colder as whispers moved through the crowd, and I focused on my daughters, their small hands warm in mine, their faces bright and innocent. They did not see failure. They saw their dad. As I adjusted one girl's dress and smoothed another's hair, I felt a presence nearby, steady and unexpected. I looked up and noticed a man watching us, not with curiosity or judgment, but with something gentler, something thoughtful. He was composed, confident, and unmistakably powerful, yet his attention rested not on the crowd but on the simple moment between a father and his children. I later learned he was a billionaire, someone whose name carried weight far beyond that room, but in that moment, he was just a man observing quietly. Our eyes met briefly, and instead of looking away, he nodded with a subtle respect that caught me off guard. It was the first time that night I did not feel invisible or lesser. The attention of my ex no longer mattered as much, nor did the silent comparisons floating around us. For the first time in years, I felt seen for who I truly was, not for what I lacked. As the evening unfolded, the tension that once crushed my chest began to ease. The girls laughed, admired the decorations, and stayed close to me, grounding me in the present. The humiliation I had feared no longer held the same power. The past did not get to define this moment. Somewhere along the way, I realized that surviving, loving, and raising 3 children alone was not a failure but a quiet kind of success few could understand. Near the end of the night, opportunity arrived without announcement. A connection was formed, not based on pity, but on respect and shared values. It was not about money or status, but about recognizing resilience when it appeared in its rawest form. Life did not change instantly, but the direction shifted. Doors that had been closed for years began to open, and hope, something I had learned to keep buried, slowly resurfaced. If this story is touching your heart even a little, please take a moment to like and engage with this video. Your support truly helps meaningful stories reach more people who may need hope today. Walking out of that hall with my daughters, I felt lighter than when I entered. The night air was cool, and the city lights reflected in their wide eyes. I understood then that being humiliated did not mean being defeated. Sometimes, the lowest moments are the ones that quietly prepare us for unexpected grace. I was not defined by my past, my losses, or anyone else's opinion. I was defined by love, perseverance, and the 3 small lives that trusted me completely. Before the story ends, please comment the word hope if you believe that even the hardest moments can lead to beautiful new beginnings. That night did not erase the struggles or magically fix everything, but it reminded me that dignity can survive humiliation, and kindness can appear from the most unexpected places. I went home holding my daughters a little closer, knowing that no matter what tomorrow brought, we were enough, and sometimes, being enough is where miracles begin.